Once upon a time, in a land filled with mountains and rivers, there was a small town where the people lived simple lives. They were hard-working, but many of them struggled with self-doubt and fear. They often felt they weren't good enough, that they didn't have the strength to overcome the challenges they faced. In this town lived a young man named Thomas. Thomas was known for his kind heart, but he was filled with doubt. He often felt that no matter how hard he tried, he could never achieve anything great. He would look at the mountains and think, how can I, just an ordinary person, ever make a difference? One day, as Thomas sat by the river, deep in thought, a man approached him. This man had a gentle presence, and his eyes were full of understanding and compassion. It was Jesus, who had come to the town to share his wisdom. "Why do you look so troubled, my friend?" Jesus asked, sitting down beside Thomas. Thomas sighed. "I want to do something meaningful with my life, but I feel like I'm not strong enough or wise enough. How can I possibly make a difference?" Jesus smiled gently. "Do you see that mountain over there?" he asked, pointing to a towering peak in the distance. Thomas nodded. "People often see mountains as obstacles," Jesus continued. "They believe they are too high to climb, too difficult to conquer. But what if I told you that within you lies the strength to move mountains? What if you believed that your faith in yourself could change the world around you?" Thomas looked at Jesus, confused. "But I'm just one person. How can I possibly move mountains?" Jesus reached out and touched Thomas's hand. "The mountains you see are not just made of rock and earth. They are also the fears, doubts, and challenges we face in life. When you believe in yourself, when you have faith in your own abilities, you can overcome any obstacle. You can move mountains." Thomas thought about this for a moment. "But how do I find that faith? How do I believe in myself when I feel so small?" Jesus looked into Thomas's eyes, his voice filled with warmth. "Faith begins with understanding that you are never truly alone. The same power that created the mountains also created you. You are part of something greater, something beautiful and powerful. When you tap into that connection, when you trust in the divine strength within you, there is nothing you cannot achieve." Thomas felt a warmth in his heart, a flicker of hope that he hadn't felt in a long time. "But what if I fail?" "Failure is not the end," Jesus said gently. "It is simply a step on the path to success. Each time you stumble, you learn and grow stronger. The important thing is to keep moving forward, to keep believing in yourself, even when the road is difficult. Remember, it is not the size of the mountain that matters, but the size of your faith." Encouraged by Jesus' words, Thomas decided to take a small step. He started helping his neighbors with their daily tasks, offering words of encouragement and kindness. Slowly, he began to see the difference he could make. People started to look up to him, inspired by his newfound confidence and strength. As time passed, Thomas's belief in himself grew, and so did his impact on the town. He led the people in building a bridge across the river, connecting their town with others and bringing new opportunities. He organized gatherings where people could share their dreams and support one another in achieving them. And just as Jesus had said, the mountains in Thomas's life began to move. His doubts and fears faded, replaced by a deep faith in his own abilities and the strength of the community around him. Years later, as Thomas looked back on his life, he realized that the greatest mountain he had moved was not the physical challenges he had overcome, but the belief in himself that had transformed his life and the lives of those around him. And so, the story of Thomas and the wisdom of Jesus spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to believe in themselves, to face their challenges with courage, and to move the mountains in their own lives.